All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a huge shift happening on the high seas. This is a story that's all about a really critical challenge and the cutting-edge tech being built to solve it.
So think about this. This isn't just some, abstract thought experiment. It is a very real, very urgent problem for the Republic of Korea Navy. Their job is to patrol one of the most sensitive maritime borders on the entire planet, the Northern Limit Line. And they have to do this while their country is facing a major population decline. So what does that mean? Fewer sailors. They absolutely need a new way to keep their fleet strong and modern.
And the answer they've come up with, it's a new combat concept called Navy Sea Ghost. The whole idea here is to create this hybrid force. Picture it. You have manned command ships, but they're fighting alongside this whole fleet of unmanned drones, in the air, on the surface, and even underwater. These are the machines you send into the really dangerous spots.
Okay, so right at the heart of this huge technological shift is one company that saw this coming, years ago. We're talking about LIG Nex1. Now, if you follow defense tech, you know they're a huge player in South Korea with this incredible portfolio of advanced weapons and sensor systems.
So get this. How long have they been at it? Since 2015. That's a decade. Way before unmanned surface vehicles, or USVs, were even a hot topic, LIG Nex1 was pouring its own money into developing a whole family of them. And they gave them a pretty cool name. Hagum, which means Sea Sword.
That kind of long-term, self-funded R&D, that is really rare. And believe me, it has not gone unnoticed. Putting in a solid decade of work like that, it's exactly why the defense world sees them as a leader in the space. It all comes back to that early, consistent bet they made on the technology.
But the Sea Sword didn't just appear overnight, fully formed. No way. It evolved. It was a really clear step-by-step process where each new version just stacked new capabilities on top of the one before it. So it all kicked off with the Hagum Eye. Think of it as the eyes on the sea, just for surveillance. Then came Hagum 2, which was a big leap because it could actually deploy and grab underwater drones, extending its senses deep beneath the waves. And that all led to Hagum 3, the first one that was actually armed and, crucially, tough enough to operate 24/7, even in really rough seas. We're talking sea state 4 conditions.
So all of this steady progress, all those years of research, it was all building up to something. And that something is their most advanced platform to date, which they just unveiled at the huge International Maritime Defense Industry Exhibition. And here it is, the Hagum X. This thing is the absolute pinnacle of that whole 10-year journey. It's a machine built from the ground up with two things in mind, and two things only: being as lethal as possible and as survivable as possible.
Okay, so how does it survive out there? Well, first off, it's got a stealthy hull, right? Designed to just shrink its radar signature. Then you add an advanced multi-function radar that gives it this super detailed 3D picture of everything around it. But the real smarts? It's built for swarm operations. It uses satellites and communications drones to coordinate with other unmanned ships, and that right there shows you the real tech advantage. It's not just the boat, it's the complex web that lets these things work together as a single intelligent team.
And then there's the firepower. It's lethal because it's modular. You can bolt on whatever you need for the mission. A 20mm remote cannon? Done. Besung guided rockets? Yep. Blue Shark torpedoes to go submarine hunting? It can carry those too. It can even launch its own attack drones. But here's the real game changer, and this speaks to LIG Nex1's massive capabilities. They make a lot of these weapons and sensors themselves. So that in-house integration, fitting their own weapons onto their own ship, that is a massive strategic advantage. It's the whole package.
Now, this innovation from LIG Nex1, it's not happening in some isolated lab. Not at all. It's right on the bleeding edge of a global military race. Trust me, every single major navy in the world is looking at this exact kind of technology. Just look at the money. The numbers tell the whole story. The global market for these unmanned boats is set to more than double in the next 10 years, jumping from about $2.6 billion to over $6 billion. So yeah, this isn't some niche little hobby.
This is quickly becoming a flat-out essential piece of any modern navy.
And this isn't just theory or projections. We're seeing these things in action right now, all over the world. You've probably seen how Ukraine has used them so effectively against Russia's Black Sea Fleet. Taiwan's experimenting with them to defend its coastlines. The US is building its own specialized versions for special forces. The point is, the era of the unmanned warship, it's not coming. It's already here.
So, what does this all add up to? It's way, way bigger than just one cool new boat. What we're witnessing is a fundamental change in how countries are going to fight at sea and protect their shores in the 21st century.
It's a complete paradigm shift. We're moving away from the old way of doing things. These huge, expensive, vulnerable ships packed with large crews. And we're moving toward this new idea of manned-unmanned teaming. In this new world, bots like the Hagem X are the ones that take on the dull, the dirty, and especially the dangerous jobs. And that keeps human sailors safer, out of the line of fire.
So by being a true pioneer here, by putting in a decade of its own money and looking ahead, LIG Nex1 isn't just building ships. They are literally shaping the future of security on the seas. And as these autonomous sea swords start patrolling the oceans, it really leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. In a world of robotic warfare, where is the front line anymore?